Welcome, brand new edition, Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. Football season just around the corner here on ProView Networks. We're getting ready to hit that pretty heavy. We'll be back on My 50 TV with the My 50 Game of the Week, and of course all the other action you can catch streaming. So wanted to talk a little bit of football and hoops today with one of the city's most dynamic two sports stars, Atrisco Heritage's Latavius Morris. Welcome to the program, man.
Thank you for having me, Sebastian.
All right, like, when does your season ever end? I would imagine you're still doing some hoop stuff now, but getting ready for football, or?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow we start our Lobo camp for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it doesn't really end. I just stay working.
So when does the football preparation kind of creep into all that?
Around this time it starts. I've been going to practices. I go practice and then straight to basketball practice. So really around this time.
So we'll backtrack a little bit. Like, I would imagine, just following your social and everything, that you really haven't had any off time between the end of the basketball season and right now when we're taping this, right?
Yes, sir.
So, like, the season ends for you. What happens next? You guys are off right away, like to Vegas or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. As soon as high school ends, I go straight to AAU, summer hoops or ABC. After ABC, straight into football, and yep, that's really it.
How's that on the body? Like, there's got to be some times where you're just icing. You're like, damn, I need some time.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I could do it all day, but
Oh, you're getting old now.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. All right, I get it.
yeah, but it used to be just like really easy and stuff. That's why I kind of took a little bit of time off track. I'm gonna get back to it this upcoming year for high school. Yes, sir.
So obviously the physical toll of all that, but what's the mental grind of that? Like, just knowing that there's not going to be an off season, go right into AAU, jump right into football. Football's over, jump right into basketball. What's the mental grind of that?
It's not really it's not too much of a grind. I love to play sports. This is my life. I want to make it, and it's really not really too much of a toll on my mental. Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk some football, right? Since football season's around the corner, obviously Atrisco, the program kind of started here, and you guys have kind of, regained some respectability, brought some attention to the program. Does it seem like from the inside, has the corner been turned? What should we expect from the Jags this season?
We're always going to get better. We're one of the teams that if you see us in the playoffs or see us in big games, that you're going to have to prep for us, because we're not a team to take lightly, and that's what everybody assumes from the football perspective. But every day we grind, every day we get better. I'm with my teammates. I see the progression that nobody else really sees, and yeah, I think we're going to be a team to watch out for this year.
Tough district, obviously, that you guys compete in, right? So, like, it's always kind of been a tale of two seasons, right? Like, how does that start to change? I mean, obviously, that first part of the season becomes super important for you guys, as we saw with the teams that made and didn't make the playoffs last year. So, talk about that. Like, do the coaches ever talk about that? Like, hey, we got to be good at the beginning here.
A little bit, yeah, because, of course, we have the toughest district in the state. It's tough. It's tough. We got Volcano, Rancho, Cleveland, all of them. They're just powerhouses. So, yeah, we got to get as many wins as we can. We got to try to go undefeated before we get to district, because it's tough. We can sneak a few here and there, but for seeding purposes, yeah, we want to win as many games as we can.
Not only one of the toughest districts, but everyone I talk to also says one of the most physical districts. Like, those teams don't mess around; they hit. So what? I mean, is that real?
Yeah, it's for real. It's for real. Playing against Cleveland, you get it. I take a few big hits. That's why I try to get low to the ground before I take any smoke from them. But Yeah, it's real. It's real. I be coming home banged up, neck hurting, go straight to sleep. Next day hurting, next couple of days hurting.
What now? A district win against one of those two, which one would mean the most? If you could knock off one of those district opponents, which one would mean the most?
Probably Cibola.
Okay.
Probably Cibola. We could try to sneak Cibola in. Volcano
Yeah,
too.
Volcano and Cibola, they don't get along, right? Like
Yeah,
that's not a,
yeah.
that's the worst kept secret in town,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah, but Volcano or Cibola for sure. A lot of teams have lost a lot of seniors this year, so we should be able to sneak a couple of games. We have more upcoming like older guys and stuff. Everybody else is seniors past, so it's really like the teams that I used to play or the kids that I used to play in Yaffle. Now I'm playing against them.
Right.
It's not older kids. It's the same level.
Where did that Cibola and Volcano, or where did that Cibola has? It seems like Cibola is a rival of a lot of schools. Like Cibola and
Yeah.
Volcano don't like each other. Cibola and you guys don't like each other.
Yeah.
Like Cibola and insert a name here don't like each other.
Yes, sir.
Where do all these rivalries kind of come from and start?
Usually 7-on-7s. Usually it gets pretty intense. Trash talking here, trash talking there, and yeah, we start getting it starts getting a little hectic or whatever. But that's really where it starts, and then it just carries on to the season.
Right.
We can't wait to play them. We're just hyped for that game.
Now that's my speed is trash talking because you know
Yeah.
I kind of gravitate towards that a little
Yeah.
bit. So who's the best trash talker on your team, and who's the best trash talker you ever play against in football?
Ooh, my team.
And you can say you if you want.
Yeah, for sure me or Marquise.
Okay.
Other teams, I haven't really met no like.
Like Volcano talks a lot.
Yeah.
I've been on the sideline.
I haven't really
heard
met
it.
nobody like specific that's talked trash to me, but like I have like rivals with like Justice Smith. He goes to Volcano, so that should be a pretty fun little matchup. We've
Right.
always had matchups since we were young, but I've really had nobody that would really like talk trash back and forth to me the whole game. Me and Shrek got into it a little bit last year, but that's been my guy since we were younger. But me and him got into it or whatever. But yeah.
That would be a dude I wouldn't want to get into it with. But that's that's just
Yeah.
me, right? So is there another game on the season that you kind of have or on the schedule that you have circled, or are you just looking to get started?
West Mesa, because that's been
'Cause that's a rivalry
yeah,
too,
that's
right?
a serious rival. I love playing against West Mesa. Elijah Brody, that's one of my close friends, and it's just fun playing against them. We have a lot of rivals against them, a lot of people we don't like, and it's just always fun playing against them.
All right, we want to pick up on that when we get back. I want to talk a little bit more football, but then we're talking hoops the rest of the way after that.
Yes,
We'll be
sir.
right back with Tay after this. Back with the Triscos, Latavius Morris. We're talking a little bit of football. What is it about you I've noticed on the football field and the basketball court? Like, you just draw attention.
Yes, sir.
Whether that's from the defense or the opposing fans.
Yes, sir.
You just draw a lot of attention. When did that begin? What causes all this madness?
It's always been since I was younger, since I was super young. Everybody's always they always get caught up in like my competitive edge, or when I talk trash, they take it the wrong way. So then it kind of like floats around from this person to this parent to that parent, and then everybody starts to like dislike me because of my competitive nature.
And kind of where did that competitive nature come from? It's too easy to say classic little man syndrome, right?
Yeah.
But that would be like the first thing I would lean towards, right?
Yeah.
Is you've been smaller, right? And you
sir.
probably hear that a ton.
Yes, sir.
So is that kind of where your competitive drive and I'm going to prove everyone wrong kind of comes from?
Yes, sir. My dad and my grandpa have always pushed me. It's really just been us three. They've always pushed me. You got to do this. To where like when I go into a basketball game, coaches can't game plan for me. I can go left, right, pull up left, pull up right, all of that. But yeah, it's really because I'm 5'7". I gotta do everything better than this 6-footer can do, this 7-footer could do. That's where that edge comes from. 7-footers can go out there and just like, slack off, lackadaisical. I gotta play with that edge every time for me to stand out.
Right. Now, speaking of that, you had a run-in, right, with one of the kind of NBA's most famous little guys, right? Nate
Yes, sir.
Robinson.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about that whole experience. That had to be pretty motivational.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was I seen, of course, on the schedule I was playing against Seattle Rotary. I knew that was Nate Robinson's son, and I'm doing my thing or whatever. I hit a couple of shots, so whenever I hit my first shot, that's when I know I'm gonna be going. If even if I miss, but like whenever I get my first shot going, it's gonna be a long game. But I'm playing against Nate Robinson's son. Of course, that's my competitive edge. I'm going at him. I'm always want to be the best player on the court, and that's the goal every single time. I am the best player on the court. And me and him are going back and forth. We get into a little trash talking battle. Nate is not there, and then he arrives and he starts saying like little slick stuff to me. And my dad kind of peeps it or whatever. He starts recording.
No, not your dad.
Yeah.
No, he got into that? No way.
It wasn't really nothing. It was just like, respect.
Yeah,
it was just a little trash talking. Go at him. He's smaller. You know what I'm saying? Nate's
so
talking.
You got an NBA dude talking shit.
Yeah. Nate Robinson's talking a little trash to me. I come down. I hit a couple of threes. I'm talking back. And then that's where everybody else gets mixed up, especially in New Mexico. They get caught up in that trash talk and they take it such the wrong way. Like, whenever you go out of state, everybody loves that. And then back here in New Mexico, everybody feels some type of way about it.
Yeah, they get up in their feelings.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's true. I've seen it. Because I gravitate towards that whole trash talking thing. But it's like, and then, they start throwing quick tees. And let's not go down that road. Right? But so this NBA dude is talking some smack during the game, but then you got to have an interaction with him after, right?
Yeah, he talked to my pops because you see my dad was like cheering extra loud for me. Nate Robinson's there. He's getting real loud for me, getting real crunk. Nate's saying something. You know what I'm saying? My dad's saying slick stuff back. Not like really towards him, but you know what I'm saying? Go at him, Tay, all this.
You don't have to explain. I've been to games with your dad. Yeah, okay. You don't have to explain.
So then Nate Robinson's like, that's your son. He's a killer, this and that. I want to talk to him after the game. Nate, we got a couple of videos of him talking to me. He's just like, if you could play through like this throughout your whole high school career, you can really go places and stuff like that. And it's just really motivating. That's one of the smallest NBA players ever. He can dunk. He's an icon. He's someone I've idolized since I was young. And that was just a surreal experience. He follows me on Instagram, all that. We talk here and there.
Humble brag.
Yeah.
Humble brag right there. Name drop. Pick that name up. All right. So like when you watch basketball, do you kind of I don't want to say model after, but do you kind of look up to those kind of smaller dudes? So like locally, like a Jalen House who's undersized, nationally, a Nate Robinson and Isaiah Thomas, guys like that. Is that who are the dudes you kind of look after?
Of course, always the small guards because I see they're at the highest level. I get to see what they can do versus these people, and if they could do this against the highest level, I could easily do this in high school. So it's really about just working on just the little things. I try new moves all the time in my backyard. Of course, I'll look at a couple of 6'5", 6'6", Kobe and them that. Yeah.
Let's go back I want to go back to your freshman season. I think that kind of where you arrived, in my opinion, I don't know, you can disagree, of course, is that Metro tournament, right? Some guys start getting hurt, some wild games, and then you're just thrust out there and voila, a star is born, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you feel that happening, or?
I knew as soon as my moment came that
you were ready.
Yeah, I was always ready. I was always prepared. I knew that I could be a starter since I was a freshman. Since I stepped in the first practice, I knew I should have been a starter. So it's just like the little freshman love. We got older guys, seniors. Chris, Javi. So it's not. I can't just. It's not easy to go in there and just take their spot. They've won championships and stuff. But as soon as
it's like one thing though, like if you get thrust into the lineup early in the season when you're beating the hell out of Manzano, that's one thing, right? But here we are in the late rounds of the Metro tournament, and here you go. Yeah, because those were some pretty intense games. I remember broadcasting those.
I remember. I watched those. I still have those videos saved on my phone and stuff. But I was always just ready for that moment. I was always ready to take the big shot, to be the big shot maker. I was ready for that moment. As soon as I got my moment to shine, you never take no steps back. We always move forward.
And so the rest of, the team dynamic kind of changed after that, right? It was a lot deeper, right? Now you could provide these minutes and provide this scoring. So, I mean, how pumped were you? Well, first of all, what was the mindset the first time you checked in there? Like, you just going about your business? I mean, there had to be some nerves, right?
In the Metro tournament?
Yeah, there had to be some nerves going into that Metro game.
For sure. It's super packed. I'm pretty sure. So the first Metro game I played was against, I think, Del Norte, and then we moved on to La Cueva and Exodus. That's my childhood friend too. We grew up together, and of course, he's the big dog on campus. He's the top dog. Everybody talks about X, and there was really no backing down. I wanted to go at his throat every single play. They got 7-footers. They got Cam's older brother, Dyer. Yeah,
a lot of pieces, right?
Yeah, they had a good amount of pieces, and I just wanted to show everybody what I can do.
And then after the Metro tournament, I mean, you you never lost that confidence the rest of the season. So what did that do for your confidence, knowing, like, especially with the way the basketball schedule works, right? Metro tournament is done. You pretty much go into district pretty quickly after that. So what was your confidence level after the Metro tournament going into district?
It was really high. I've never really like slipped up too much of my confidence. I've always been a really confident player. And yeah, it just drove me through after I hit big shot after big shot, bucket after bucket, you know, free throw after free throw. It just keeps on carrying on, and then I was one of the guys. I was one of the guys.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, if ever a player fit at a certain program, like, I think Atrisco has the best student section for basketball.
Yeah.
They love, you know, especially those home games.
Yeah.
You know, and so it seems like you just fit perfectly there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's that like? That it's a pretty nice crowd there when you guys are rolling and you're winning. That's usually a pretty good home. Not a lot of schools have a home court advantage in APS. I think Atrisco does. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Most of the people there at school I've grown up with. So like, if someone's saying something to me, they gon' before I even have anything to say back, they gonna be like there for us. And then we're all just like a family on and off the court. We hang out all the time. We play the games together. All kinds of cool stuff like that. Like, that's really why we got that home court advantage. It's just like all of my brothers are just watching me play, cheering me on, and it just gets hectic. The parents love us. We love the parents. It's just a cool thing.
Pretty special program with some history, right? Before you got there.
Yeah.
So how is that downloaded to the next group, right? Like, who took you aside when you were a young guy there? Took you aside and said, "Hey, this is the Atrisco way. This is what we do around here."
Yes, sir.
Who was that guy for you?
For sure, Christopher Pata. Me and Chris grew up together too, and he's always rooted for me to be like, you know, when I wasn't getting as much playing time before, you know, he would talk to coach here and there. When I'd get my time, he would tell me like, shoot this, or like if I would hesitate, he's like, shoot the ball. Like, he's really one of the guys who took me under the wing, and yeah.
And so now who's gonna be? You know, you're going to be in that role soon, right? Like,
yes,
you're
sir.
going to have to put your arm around some dude and be like, "Hey, this is what we do around here. This is how we win."
Yes, sir.
Like, are you ready for that? Because that's the responsibility of playing in a good program, right? Is the generations kind of go together, right?
Yes, sir.
You talk to the older guys, you still hoop with the older guys, then you pass it on. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I've always been a leader since I was young. Like, after you build, like, after you get that like edge, you get buckets, and they build respect for you. Like Kobe, Kobe would able to go back and forth. He would listen to what I have to say, even as him being a senior. Chris would have to listen to what I would say, and it was just really a back and forth thing. And I've always been a leader since I was young. I got 3 younger brothers, so it's just really like I really I bring the guys in, and of course I'll get on them when I have to, but I always.
So you're the sheriff? You're the sheriff? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
You're the sheriff?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back with the sheriff. Top 5 things we don't know about Tay when we come back from the break. All right, top 5 list time. You've seen the show, so you know what we do, right?
Yes, sir.
Top 5 things that we do not know about Latavius Morris. Number 5.
Number 5, I met Kobe when I was younger.
Okay, so how did that happen? I'm a Laker fan, so you got me hooked. How did you meet Kobe Bryant?
So we're at the Laker game. We're at the top, the highest seat, because we bring a lot of family with us. So, you know, money's pretty tight. It's pretty expensive. Lakers games are always expensive. And I'm watching Kobe from a distance. My dad pulls me, and we've been talking about getting the autograph before we even went to the game. We go down, and the security stops me. I'm trying to run. I'm like, Kobe, Kobe, Kobe. They stop us. They pull us back up. They say, go back to your seats. Me and my dad go to the restroom. Boom, we go back out, take off sprinting, and I get up to Kobe, and then he's like, the security guards are trying to like get up on me, and he's telling them to move, move, move. I asked him for his autograph. He asked people like if they have a marker, signs it for me. Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yes, sir.
I know what those seats are like at the top. I'll tell you a little story. My dad, one time, I'm visiting my parents out in the Bay Area. Like, hey, we're going to a Warriors game. I'm pretty stoked, right? Even though I'm a Lakers fan, we're going to a Warriors game. He's like, all right, I got tickets in the 300 Club. Now, when you hear the 300 Club, you're like, oh, that sounds exclusive, right? Like maybe that sounds fancy, right?
Yeah,
like maybe that's a private
yeah.
club or something. Some drinks are going to be flowing. I don't know, right? It sounds fancy. No, bullshit. It's the seats that are the farthest up in section 300, right below the retired numbers. Nothing glorious about it. Yeah, it was not as luxurious as I hoped it would be. All right, number 4, things we don't know about you.
Probably like to piggyback of what we were talking about before, like a lot, like I'm a really cool guy to be around, and some people like take it the wrong way, of course, on the court. But that's I like to be around kids and stuff like that. Like people just take it the wrong way and don't want to be around me and stuff.
Misunderstood. All right. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Number 3.
Number 3. That's tough. Probably that I got that I also talked about on here, that I got 3 younger brothers that I got to look after and stuff like that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they're like, and they all do what? Basketball, football, all the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Basketball, football, track. Yes,
So we'll be
sir.
seeing them on ProView Networks?
Yeah,
All right,
for sure.
all right.
For sure. For
Number 2.
sure. I'm a TikTok star.
Okay, so I've heard this. I've heard some opposing fans talk about this.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
So what do you do on TikTok?
It was really whenever like quarantine hit. Like I used to think that
you're bored, there's nothing else to do,
TikTok
right?
wasn't cool, it was corny, cringy or whatever. And I was just like, one day I'm just like, let me try this out. And then after that I just took off. And I was really up there, and then I got banned a few times, like 2 or 3 times. TikTok be hating on me, but I'm
No, wait a minute. I got to dig a little deeper here. What can you get banned for on TikTok?
Like they'll ban me on live just for like they'll ban you. I've really got banned like, so when I was younger I didn't really like care. Like I would have like my shirt off in the videos or whatever. I'd be doing like little cool talking videos, and then after that they started banning it, and then I didn't really think anything of it, and then they would just like get you for copywriting and stuff. It was just like,
So there's like a TikTok police?
yeah.
Huh.
Yes sir.
All right. What
Yes, sir.
number? That was number. So what kind of what are you doing now? Like,
Right now, I've been doing like a lot of dancing videos and stuff. I kind of been like chilling off of it because we've been getting locked into football. But today I'm doing like a little day in the life, so I got the little videos going. Y'all could tap into that after I
Okay.
post. I'll post that after.
what's your
this.
TikTok? You can throw it out there.
Latavius.Morris.
Okay. And so what did you say the first time opposing fans started getting on you about being a TikTok star? Or what did you think about that? You're like, well, at least they know. They're following.
Yeah, it's dope. It's super dope. It's super dope. A lot of kids in New Mexico don't experience that. Like that's also pressure too. I'm shooting free throws or yelling TikTok this, TikTok that. The student section's talking trash about my TikTok, showing me videos, my video, like all kinds of crazy
Well,
stuff.
I don't even have to go to a Trisco games because I
Yeah.
can watch the whole game on your dad's Facebook, just
Yeah.
live, sequentially, just next,
Yeah.
next, right? Yeah, so it's great.
Yeah.
Right? All right, what number are we on? Number 2. Number
Yeah.
2, what's the second thing?
Oh, is it number 2? I
Or is
thought it was number.
Are
I think
we at
number
1?
1.
All right,
I
we
think
are
so.
at 1. All
I
right,
think
what's
so.
the number 1 thing we don't know about Latavius Morris?
This is tough. Probably that basketball is my favorite sport.
So that's not a good one. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. Like, come on, like I could have guessed that.
It's tough. It's
this
tough.
is like things we don't know about you, not things that are obvious.
That I'm a family guy.
Okay.
I'm a family guy. I'm a big family guy.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you're all about the family, right?
Yeah, I'm all about family first.
I always see you around your family, so that
Yeah.
makes a lot.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
cool.
rather be around family. I don't got a lot of friends. I don't got a lot of, like, of course, what I was talking about, how people, like,
Right.
I'm misunderstood and stuff. So
Right.
I don't really have a lot of friends. I just got my small group of people.
Okay. All right. Those are the top 5 things we didn't know. Cool.
sir.
Absolutely. I love it. All right. Let's talk about hoops a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
Last season, obviously the expectations were pretty high, right, at the beginning of the season. I mean, what were they for you guys at the beginning of the season? What are you guys talking about as far as goals and expectations?
The only goal we really talk about is winning the state championship. That's always really the goal. We're not satisfied with losing in the playoffs or losing in the game to get to the chip.
And then what happens during a season when you kind of get to a high, right? Like you guys are riding a real high, and then you kind of hit the skids a little bit. So what's going on during the season? How does coach address that? How do you guys address that? I don't think anyone had more just injuries and COVID and illness and just stuff going on than no one had more than you guys.
Yes, sir.
So how do you navigate those waves during the season as a group?
Before the season starts, Coach Reddy always addresses us about adversity and how we're always going to face that and how we just have to really stick together. That's our big word, adversity. Like, that's really what we faced. CP's got hurt back-to-back years, and I've really had to step up and take that role on.
So then, the playoff starts, everything's good, and we're ready to go. And obviously, most people that are watching the show know what happened around the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I got the news during the seating and selection show while I was on the air. I got the news on a text, and I was just shocked. And so, not to get into any details because we're not going to.
Yeah.
But just as a friend and as a brother, how did that affect you emotionally? Like knowing that, hey, you probably didn't know all the details,
Yeah,
right? And so you could have lost a brother, could have lost a friend.
Yeah.
Just take us through that.
We've really just grown up together. Like, we could, me and Marquise are like best friends. I consider him my brother, my family. I've taken care of him before he's stayed over at the house, vice versa. And yeah, it was just a really tough moment. I knew, I was just, praying for him all the time, and it was just like it took a pretty big toll on me, like hard nights, sleepless nights and stuff. But I knew after I knew he was all right, then we just got back to work, and he's like Wolverine. He heals like that. He's twisted his ankle so many times, like big old ball in his foot, and he out there running the next day.
But how hard is it to get ready for a playoff game with all that on your mind?
It's tough because I know this really. I could throw it to the side. I know he's okay. I know that I gotta step up and be, of course, what I already am. And what really tough is I know that the student section. Every time I arrive to the game, I know that the student section, and I know they've heard about it. They've said some, pretty crazy things to me during the game, kind of like knocks you off. But I'm kind of used to it with all the TikTok stuff and.
Well, and that's the second part of it, right? So we talk about obviously Marquise's ordeal, right?
Yeah.
But then anyone that knows the situation knows you had a lot on your mind heading into that game as well.
Yes, sir.
Like, so you take the Marquise piece plus the piece that's weighing heavily on your mind. Like, how did that not break you during the week?
Because I'm really just built for that. Like I've faced a lot of problems when I was younger too. Like I'm just really used to that stuff. So it wasn't really nothing like new to me. And I know I had to go out there. I changed my number to 12 for him. Like that's my dog. My dad wasn't at home, so that was also a tough thing. And it was just like I like that. I like that.
I remember the number when I saw it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys they're introducing starters, and I mute my mic and I turned to Steve. I said, "He's wearing Marquise's number. They're gonna win this bleeping game."
Yeah.
Like I knew it right then, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you guys were playing with some emotion that game, weren't you?
Yeah. It's just I'm always ready. I'm always ready for that. I embrace that. I embrace that pressure. I embrace that. We have to win this game already on top of a playoff game, and Marquise is not there, my pops is not home, and the student section talking to me. I embrace that stuff.
And what would be more special, a state title in basketball or a state title in football?
Ooh, man. I mean, it's tough because my grandpa coaches the football team, so there's nothing like winning a state championship with your grandpa, but basketball be my first love, and I don't really get as much criticism as I do on the basketball court, like on the football court. I mean, on the football field as I do on the basketball court. So I think it's just different. Like student sections attack me a lot. There's not really like crazy student sections. They can't really say nothing to me on the football field, and I don't really get as much like criticism and hate because we're not really like a top team yet. But it'll probably be basketball.
And so what do you guys have to do to get there this year?
We just gotta play team ball. We gotta I gotta make big shots. I gotta be a big player. I gotta be a big asset. I'm gonna need my my other guys to step up too. I see people like Matthias working on moves that he doesn't really work on often, and it's good to see my team just get better every single day. It's kind of tough because we don't really have like a big, so that's really a tough thing. But we love being the underdogs and them saying they're gonna, like, Volcano's gonna three-peat and stuff like that. And Cleveland's a really big top team. Los Lunas is gonna be tough, and yeah, we just embrace that. Like we've already been there twice. I've been there twice, being young, and yeah, we're always ready.
Well, we're already out of time, man. I feel like we could have gone a whole hour. This is my dude right here. So we could have talked an hour, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have you back during the basketball season.
Sir.
Let's get this football stuff out of the way so we can get to hoops, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming in,
Sebastian.
and thank you for watching, everybody, and good night.